building in Ghana is becoming very, very expensive. And not just building in Ghana, building across the world is becoming very expensive. Now, this is mainly due to the fact that cement prices have increased, clinker shortage because China and the US are having this trade wars, and Ghana doesn't really produce clinker. And so we at Africa Building Hub, we've taken it upon ourselves to find alternative building materials that are not as expensive as cement, iron rods, and blocks, and all these other ones that we use. Guess what? We have actually done very detailed research, and we've identified that you can actually use about just $18,000 to have a beautiful house built with bamboo. And in this video, we are going to look at some of the houses you can build, the advantages and disadvantages of using bamboo to build, and more. Now, also we have people on the live interactive session. Michael, we can see you, so maybe you could turn off your camera and then mute yourself as well. And again, if you want to join the live interactive session, there's a link in the WhatsApp community, and there's also a link in the YouTube chat that you can use to engage us, right? So that will be fantastic. Anybody who wants to join, just click on the link and you'll be able to join. Now, before we get even much into the details, let's move straight into the question of the day. We got this question of the day from one of our subscribers, and it's a very interesting question, really, really interesting. And we want to hear what you have to say concerning this particular question that this subscriber asked, right? And the question is, my mother started a house in our village years ago. It is not completed. She is 92 years now. I am on retirement, right? So I am on retirement myself and no extra income to finish the house. And the person is asking us that, what is our advice? Hi, Michael, could you kindly mute your video? Please press mute. Okay. Right, so let's proceed. So he's saying, what advice would we give to the person if they can start in a small way? And this for me is a really interesting question. That's what do you think? His mom is 97 or something years old, 92, and then the person is also on retirement. What advice would you give to the person?
That's fine.
It's a bit tough.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what I want you to do, anyone who is watching, whether you're watching the live or the replay, share your thoughts in the comment section. We'll read it. We've asked the person to watch this live video. So what you are going to share in the comments, the person will read, and it could potentially help them to save money and to avoid wastage, or to guide them on what to build. So we really want to hear from you. Okay. And also start commenting where you are watching from. It's really important to us. Are you watching from US, Ghana, Canada, Europe? Which country in Europe? Which place in Accra or Ghana are you watching from? Comments below and let us know.
I just thought about it again, and I saw with no extra income, and I think that's where we should start from.
Okay.
Right? If we find a way to create the source of income, so that at least you can start having something small for yourself, maybe some provisions.
Okay.
Something to generate income. If we start from that,
okay. So I get you. So like they could use their pension money to start some small business, and then the business would help them. Really, really interesting. So everybody who is watching, comment and let us know. We have a lot of people on the live interactive session right now. So Terry, I see your hand is up. You want to advise our subscriber? You can unmute and then share your thoughts, please.
Actually, I have a question. Please, I'm building and I'm on the plastering side. I'm now coming to do the plastering, and I want to ask if I use CIMAF 32.5R, is it good for plastering, or I should choose a higher grade?
All right, so thank you very much for your question. This is a very easy one. You can proceed with 32.5R. In fact, it is recommended that you use 32.5R for non-load bearing items. So please, you can proceed with it. CIMAF is also a generally good brand, right? So you can proceed with that, right? So we want everybody who is watching, whether the live or the replay, to help us answer the question of the day that the subscriber asked. That is really, really important. Now, let's move to what is trending on social media this week. There's this Woodfields fires back $20.5 million land battle, false claims and call for rule of law. Now, we are sharing this so that people who are looking at purchasing land, especially in Accra, are going to learn a thing or two from it. Now, it says in a fiery press conference held in Accra, Woodfields Development Company has broken its silence on a protracted land dispute, challenging what it describes as false claims of ownership and land guard incursions on its legally acquired property at Crematinville, Baltimore. Now, if you know Baltimore and Accra, it's one of the places which is really coming up.
Yeah.
They have one of the best roads in Ghana leading to the place. And so a lot of people are moving there, right? And there's a lot of interest. There's a whole stadium that has been built there. And I know a number of people who have engaged us that they want to purchase land in that place. And that's why for me, when this issue came up, I said, okay, let's share with our audience. Now, addressing the media, Bernard, the Director of Operations and Public Affairs, laid out a detailed timeline of events surrounding the controversial 217-acre stretch of land acquired by the company in 2003. He described the company's decade-long legal and financial battles to secure the property, which involved a whopping $20.5 million in investment and litigation. That's what I mean. I don't have $20.5 million for litigation.
$20.5 million for litigation.
So if I'm buying land, right, we keep stressing, there are many common sense principles. Apart from doing all your due diligence, searching for, the owner, lawyer owner, and all those things. Apply wisdom, right? Ensure that you don't pay the full amount before you start building. Pay a token that you are comfortable losing. It's not like if you lose money, it's good.
Yeah.
But if, for example, the property is going for $100,000,
okay,
pay maybe $1,000 or $10,000.
Okay.
And let a person understand that if you start building and there's no issue, you come and pay the rest. Right? Because many a times, once you start clearing the land, you see all the issues on it. Right. So let's continue the topic of the day, and then we come back into today's topic. The cost of land and housing in Ghana is skyrocketing partly because developers like us must first fight off illegal claimants, go through years of court cases, and recover land from encroachers before even laying the first brick.
Oh, so is that why they are saying this? They'll be selling land for $100,000?
Yeah. Now, he urged potential buyers to deal directly with certified developers to avoid demolitions and legal entanglements, stating, "You don't buy peace of mind by trusting the wrong source. Public land, not tool land." Apal clarified that the land in question is public land originally acquired by the colonial Gold Coast government and later subject to a legal agreement involving the Nungwastu law firm Kweku Tramanti & Co. and Woodfields. The Nungwastu only holds a leasehold interest and not a laudal title, like I said. So I think this one, it's a whole day's topic, but I'm just saying this so that we all learn. Woodfield's stake in the land, now known as Crematinville, was cemented after a 2012 out-of-court settlement that saw the company's claim reduced from 240 acres to 217 acres, with an additional $2.5 million paid to the state. Now imagine 2012 to 2025, 13 good years, and we are still at this thing. Now, the company alleged that despite the court-sanctioned settlement and government recognition, various encroachers, some allegedly backed by individuals from the Botefield family and others posing as traditional authorities, have been making double sales and disrupting development. And he recounted police interventions in 2013 and slammed the resurgence of land guards on the site. How do we let criminals walk onto private land, destroy our infrastructure, and not expect the law to act? Now, we are going to leave this there and continue with the topic of the day. But we are having people commenting where they are watching from. We have also a PSAs watching you live from Iowa, USA. Keep up the good work. Fantastic. Really, really fantastic. So this is just a caution for anybody who is looking at purchasing land, right? it's not that easy. It's not that straightforward, especially if you want it at a place where there's a lot of interest, namely Accra. Everybody is interested in landing Accra. Move into the northern region, move into the eastern region and other regions and buy land. You want to see something?
I don't think everybody's interested in buying land in Accra.
Okay.
Everybody works in Accra. So they have to live in Accra.
I see. All right. So again, let's move to the topic of the day. We have a very interesting video. And this video is really, really interesting. Forget the title. I mean, body shaming is not something that we promote here. But I see someone moved to Ghana from the diaspora to escape fictional white racism. Now she's coming back because of this big ass lizards, bullshit son, bullshit not having no snacks, old malnourished cow. Let's watch this video and then we continue.
Racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that shit called that be coming down?
Bullshit lizards.
The bullshit animals and scorpions outside the house. It's big ass spiders. It's big ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen before. All in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you. All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich. So they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop.
It's a lot of things that she said. And there are some truths and there are some exaggerations, right? You can't say there's no food in Ghana.
Oh, how?
You can't say there are no snacks in Ghana.
How?
The lizards and the snakes and the scorpions, yes, it depends on where you go and buy your land. And then there's scam and all that, right? But I'm sharing this video with the community so that they realize that, I mean, when you're coming to Ghana, you need to understand what the realities in Ghana are.
Yeah.
Right? Many people feel, oh, Ghana is the motherland, Africa is the motherland, and they are not like, they don't come and live here for a while before they move their bag and baggage to live here, right? And that's a big issue that we are seeing. Now, if you read the comment section, it's just terrible. It is so terrible, right? The people are bashing Ghana. They are talking about corruption. They are talking about Ghanaians don't like Black Americans. There's a whole lot of racism, funny things happening over there. And it's just terrible. Now, in other news, there was also a Ghanaian who has been like arrested in the US for having child porn on his Google Drive. And he went there on an F1 visa to study. And this is what he's doing. A 32-year-old guy called Kojo
32-year-old
disgraced himself
on
and
a
his family.
student visa.
And again, if you see the comments, terrible. And I can understand why a lot of Ghanaians living in the diaspora want to come back to Ghana. Because it was like, I mean, don't even bring Ghanaians to US again. We need to move all the Ghanaians out of here.
Comments like that.
Yeah, and I mean, racial profiling and all these things. I really feel very sad for my people who are watching from the US and stuff. And that's why, again, we want to know where people are watching from so that when they are sharing their comments or contribution, we can like put things in proper perspective, right? So Shadid Mohammed says, pay no attention to these type of Black people. I hear you. So Etona, what do you have to say concerning the trending topic?
So for the first woman who was talking about the big lizards, she should go to Australia if she wants to see what the big lizards are. A place where even in your bathroom you see snakes, right? Ghana is better.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, right? Yeah, I understand that. Also, it also depends. Ghanaians receive you based on your character, right? You go to a place where when you try to do I know my rights, they also try to also do I know my rights. So if you come say I know my rights, but right? And then it's like, oh, I've lived here. You are now coming here. What are you trying to tell me? So it also depends on the person involved. Number one, for the 32-year-old guy story, Charlie, what you defined? What exactly were you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
You wanted to live for greener pastures. You've achieved that. Eat the grass, eat the green grass.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's continue with the topic of the day. We are looking at how people can build affordable houses, right? Using bamboo as an alternative. And we've done a lot of research, like months worth of research. Last week we were not here. We've built up on it. Now, typically, many people today would want to use bamboo for like a substitute, right? When it comes to things like iron rods, right?
Okay.
Rebars. And I've seen people who actually builded entire houses without cement. And we are going to show some of these houses in this video. And at the end of the video, we are also going to tell you everything that you can do to get started. Now, I went to India like a few months ago, right? And this that you are seeing in your shorts is the Indian airport at Bangalore. And literally everything that you are seeing in your shots is made from bamboo. Like a huge section of the airport is made of bamboo. And the beautiful creative ways that they use the bamboo is really, really amazing. And this is one way that you could do bamboo. So you are seeing columns made of bamboo.
Okay.
The roof and the ceiling made of bamboo.
Okay.
Right. It's a good starter. If a whole airport can do this, then we can also consider that. However, when you come to Ghana, what you see is that bamboo, mostly people use it for chairs, baskets, like you are seeing in your shorts, right? So this video that we are showing you is from an interview that we did. It's going to come up very soon. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel. This is Africa Building Hub. We are creating a community of people who want to build, buy, and rent in Ghana. But we believe that whatever we are sharing is applicable to any country in Africa, right? And this here that you are seeing on your screen is a bamboo plant close to where I live. In fact, it's directly opposite my father's house. And this is going to become very important in a minute. So please pay very close attention because today we are coming to unpack everything that you need to know. Right. So in Ghana, like I was saying, many people are using it for like interior decorative stuff.
Yeah.
We have seen people who are actually using bamboo for replacing iron rods in their columns and beams, and even when they are doing their floor and stuff like that, they use bamboo instead of iron rods. And so when we did our research, what we saw was that the tensile strength of bamboo is really high. Now, it's stronger than steel by weight, lighter.
Okay.
And that's amazing because steel has higher absolute strength, but bamboo is stronger than steel by weight.
By weight, okay.
And again, if you look at the compressive strength of bamboo, it's also really high up there, right? So you could use it as an alternative for concrete as well, right? And if you want to have details in some of these things, we did an interview with Super Sem Ghana, went into their labs, they explained how they measure compressive strength and all these things. So if you want details on that, the video is right here on this channel. Now let's go back to the figures from the research. Bamboo, again, is very lightweight and easier to transport than steel, right? What we call iron rods.
Okay.
So a ton of bamboo and a ton of iron rods, you get more quantity of bamboo than you get for the iron rods. And it's way cheaper, which we are going to see as well. And guess what? Bamboo seems to be very highly earthquake resistant as well. Highly earthquake resistant. Whereas for the iron rods, if you want those that are very resistant, then it means you are going for high tensile iron rods. And those are way more expensive than the mild steel iron rods. You get me? And so what's from our research we discovered also was that many people in earthquake-prone areas tend to use bamboo for their houses instead of iron rods.
Because it's safer.
Yes, because it's safer
Yeah.
and it's more resistant.
Yeah.
And in Ghana, we have earthquake zones as well. Makati Hills, Kwabenya, Ebri, the Kaswa areas are all earthquake zones. And
Yeah.
so if you are building in that area, perhaps you should consider using bamboo instead of using the iron rod.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's continue with the statistics. However, there's a caveat, right? Not everything is good and dandy. In terms of durability, from research, bamboo can last 10 to 25 years, right? Whilst houses made of iron rods, 50 to 100 years.
Yeah.
We've come to meet the houses from the colonial era.
Yeah.
But bamboo, you need to treat it, and then you are looking at a 10 to 25 year optimal window. And when it comes to thermal conductivity to it, it's really good for insulation.
Okay.
And so it has its pros and cons.
Okay.
Right. Now, of course, the sustainability aspect and the environmental impact is something that you can't run away from.
Yeah.
Right? Because with things like iron rods, they are mostly imported. Whereas bamboo grows naturally. And that's why I showed you this particular video of bamboo growing in Accra.
Okay.
And apart from this plant, there were many on that block. And the thing is, it grows in waterlogged areas, marshy areas. And in Accra, we have a lot of waterlogged areas. The most expensive places in Accra, Spintex and the rest,
Hey.
Dawinya,
Please,
Pram, all those places.
where did you see it? Did you see?
Bro, relax. All those places are very heavily waterlogged, and bamboo would naturally grow in these places.
Yeah.
Right? And when you plant it, within 4 to 6 years, it is fully matured.
Okay.
And when it's fully matured, it's not like the typical tree that grows with a stem like this and then branches over there.
Okay.
The stem and the roots are inside, and then from there, it keeps sprouting upwards vertically, right? And from that 4 to 6 years, every single year, you are going to get multiple shoots coming from the bottom.
Okay.
So it's not like you are planting new ones, you are getting the thing shooting up.
Yeah.
And those ones, within 4 to 6 months, they are ready. So I think that if anybody is watching and the person is business minded or an investor, what you could consider doing is invest in a very cheap farmland and grow bamboo. The reason why we are making like this video and taking time to go through all these things is because there's a growing demand and interest in sustainable building. There's a growing demand and interest in moving away from cement blocks, iron rods, because those buildings are very expensive. Using $250,000 to build houses, whereas you can do a $15,000, $10,000 house, bamboo house, and it's really going to look nice as well. We are going to get to the videos pretty soon. So let's read some of the comments from the YouTube live. Shadid again says, Africa is a place where we can come and help, add value, and do it together with the Africans. Edward Edu says, I'm watching from NC. Why can't the government use the universities to do research on bamboo? Edward again says, any idea how much AVR 20 kVA sells for? Thanks. Fantastic. So a lot of comments are coming in. Again, remember, if you want to join and share your thoughts, you can come in at any point in time. Michael, do you have anything to share? You could unmute your mic and then share with us on what has been discussed so far. Michael, quick watch it.
So while we wait for him.
Yeah.
So while we wait for him, I think most people's issue with bamboo would be the durability. Because it's 10 to 25 years, ideally. Right? So let's just say like 20 years in between. Most people, like myself, as an example, would rather choose the 50-year period over the 25-year period, depending on the situation. If I was an investor who was looking at creating Airbnbs or affordable housing, right, for a temporal period, or most affordable housing, I would do that and then after every 25 years, or maybe during the 25 years, we'll do the maintenance and all those things, because it's slightly cheaper than having a concrete house.
Okay.
Now, if in the long run, the cost of the maintenance will cost me more,
Then you go for the
I'll
long-term
go for the
durable
long-term
solution.
durable. Depending on where we live in Ghana. So I
Okay.
think the area also counts. If I lived in Amejofe or somewhere in the Volta region, right?
Okay.
I'm very sure that the bamboo houses would be more valuable there than say you live somewhere like Spintex,
Yeah.
right? With all the heat and the dust
Yeah.
and all those things. So I'm sure that's where most people's challenges may come with when it comes to the bamboo housing in Ghana.
Fantastic. So let's go and see what people are actually doing with bamboo. And it's amazing when you go to Bali, right? And that's a very popular tourist destination for a lot of
Yeah.
Ghanaians. A lot of their Airbnbs and stuff like that are made with bamboo. In fact, there was this person who did a TED presentation, like TED, TED, you know, global stage, and spoke about the work that they are doing with bamboo. We'll share the links after this video, and it's just amazing. But now let's go and watch this video where somebody has built like a whole university or like a college with bamboo.
Probably last year for a good 10 to 20 years if we maintain them well, and keep the thatch roofs going, and they become basically a beautiful camping experience for people who want to come here for a short time, live outside but still be comfortable. And so we made a bunch of them with students. Got some people staying here right now as part of a course. Here we got kind of creative and decided to go up 2 stories, and we made some higher ones too. Again, pretty rustic, simple, but hopefully also inspiring and comfortable.
How about foundations? Tell me a little bit about what holds these yurts up.
Let's go look at this one because you can see it really clearly. We try and hold up all our foundations mostly with hopes and dreams. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great question. How do we actually create foundations? And again, another great reason to use bamboo is, guess what? Much less foundations, because it's so light and it's so strong. With bamboo, we just make these little piles. So we literally just dig a hole by hand. So if it's really soft soil, you have to go relatively deep, sometimes up to 1.5 meters or 2 meters even for something like this, if you want it to stay stable. But in most cases, we can go down like 30 to 50 centis, and then you want to keep the bamboo away from the ground to avoid termites. And so they come out of the ground, and because it's a very rigid structure in itself, like, you don't have to worry about movement too much. So it's very minimal. You could literally pop out the whole building, take out you could dig the foundations out, and it would be like nobody was ever here. So now let's go check out the Pondok. This is a building that is something we sell at PT Bamboo, like pre-designed for anybody in Bali. We're even working on figuring out how to containerize it and ship it, but we put it together in panels, and we try and incorporate a lot of the really beautiful things that Ibuku and PT Bamboo are so known for. So this is our Pondok. We sell them through Bamboo Pure. They got this iconic teardrop door that Ibuku designed. And you can see here we use split bamboo, and we actually laminate it together to create like a really solid, beautiful thing. And this,
I think bamboo is romantic.
Yeah, and you see, the thing is, a lot of the base elements that go into the structure, our artisans are able to do. Like the interview you guys went to do, they're able to carve the bamboo to do tables. They're able to do chairs. They're able to do baskets. And even like mirrors and stuff like that, right? So for us, we are using it for interior decoration. For them, they've integrated everything into the house. So they've done doors with it. They've done windows with it. If you watch the video further, they've done
bathrooms.
Like there's a kitchen. Oh my goodness. No, let me show that to the viewers.
I think bamboo is really romantic. It's a very romantic material.
Okay, so let's see.
I'm surprised at how insulated it is. You can really tell just by the sound.
oh yeah, well it's all tempered glass. You got insulation on the walls, basically air conditioned insulation on the roof. Little outdoor bathroom too.
Oh yeah.
Leaves were not quite set up for the.
So tell me about the pricing on this.
The starting price is around $70,000 for the main.
Right, this is really interesting. So he says the starting price for a unit like that is $17,000. Obviously, his profit and everything has been
Yeah.
added to it.
Yeah.
Right. And if we are doing it in Ghana, where bamboo is so readily available,
Plenty.
we should be able to do this for like $15,000 for
Yeah.
a nice one-bedroom house. In fact, we want to take on a challenge where we'll find very cheap land and get bamboo like together at a place, and we will use ourselves as the guinea pig.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do the experiment for you guys, because I know a lot of people will be skeptical. And at this point, I really want to know, would you consider building a house made with bamboo, or buying a house made with bamboo, or renting a house made with bamboo? Comment below and let us know. It's really, really interesting. Whether you're watching the live or the replay, we want to know from you. Would you build a house with bamboo, or you don't want to take that risk? You're like, Etonam, who wants a long-term solution?
I want to know. I would like to buy a bamboo house, or I'd like to build a bamboo house. Like I'm saying, bamboo feels romantic, right? It has the whole romantic, serene feeling to it, right? The areas in which you see the bamboo houses are like very quiet and serene areas, right? And that is what makes me want to get it, depending on where it is, right? So my question is, what about you? Would you want to get a bamboo house?
Very interesting question. Yes, I would want to get a bamboo house, because if nobody starts, then how would we ever get to the point where, as a country, right, we are going to adopt the use of bamboo? What I'm saying, I'm serious. We'll find cheap land. We'll get the YouTube community to support us, give us small donations. We are using our own money, but we are using ourselves as
the
guinea
guinea
pigs for an experiment, right? Support us in any small way, and then we'll get experts, artisans who understand how to use. I think the major challenge right now is, one, our architects don't have the skill when it comes to how to design houses with bamboo.
So there are people who actually have the skill. There are people I've seen
In Ghana here,
Yes.
really?
I think the last time I showed you a video of some guy who was doing some interesting wooden design in the Volta region, right? There are people who have the skill. The thing is that we don't trust them because it's not something we see on a regular here. And they may be a lot, but they also know that it's not selling as much as they would expect. And they will not really venture into it like that. But they are there. There are people that, if you go on Instagram, I mean, I've forgotten his name, but they are there. There are people that are actually building cabins from like wood, if not bamboo, but from like wood in Ghana.
Wow,
Yeah.
really? No, I need you to find me such people. Let's interview them.
Yeah.
Let's work with them on a project.
Okay.
And then let's give long-term feedback,
Okay.
right, to the community. So we could say we'll put aside a budget, get some cheap land, do some bamboo something, and see how long it will last.
Definitely.
And see what the real issues are. Because many a times, you would see the people saying these things, and you see even the houses being built, the videos go viral on social media, but the aftermath, nobody knows.
Okay.
Right? 2 years from now, insects literally chewing the bamboo and turning it to dust. Nobody knows. So I was talking about 3 of the main challenges you are going to face if we want to adopt bamboo as a country. Number one is the fact that we don't have many architects, right? The fact that you are talking about one person points to the issue I'm raising, right?
Yeah.
If there were many, you wouldn't be talking about one person. Right. Architects are very traditional. They grew up with brick and mortar, cement blocks, and all that. And so it means that there's a whole new learning that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I like the Bali thing. I think we should go there and also go and learn and present it to the community.
Very much.
Number one. Number two, skilled artisans who know how to build with bamboo. It's also essentially lacking.
Okay.
Right. Because like I said, when you go to the switchback lane at Accra, they are just doing chairs, they are doing baskets. I haven't seen any of them coming to say, oh, we can do, maybe you guys should go back and do another interview with them and ask if they could build houses. Show them these videos and find out if they could build it.
So even with the interview we did, the demand becomes their challenge. Even with the baskets, right? You hear them say, "Oh, people only come when it's like festive seasons, like Mother's Day, those things." So it's the demand that becomes the problem. So he's selling, and he even did. Oh, then I'm telling you what happened in the interview, but he tells us when to invest in that kind of business and when not to invest. Right? So the demand becomes the challenge. So they wouldn't want to invest when there's no demand. You see, so I'm definitely sure they do, but because there's no demand, because you guys don't trust anybody to do it, they don't want to risk it either. So yeah.
Interesting. Really, really interesting. Let me read some of the comments from the YouTube live. We are having a lot of people who are joining. Idris Wildchild says, "Greetings, family. Idris here, watching from the Netherlands." All the European people, the people in Europe, send me an email. What do you think? We'll go and do meet and greet. Yeah, so please, we have our email there. If you are in Europe and you want to meet the ABH team, you can send us an email. Anyways, let's read some of the comments. Hope says, "Good evening. Hope I'm not late." No. You are not late at all. Edna says, "I'm in the UK, but I know Ghana well." Fantastic. Good to hear. Getting ready to return. That's what Edna is saying. Aaron says, "God really showed off with creation." I agree, bro. Henrietta says, "Hi, checking in. Good to have you here." Edna says, "I wouldn't mind incorporating bamboo, but with some blocks too." Okay, so I think there's a compromise, right? Where you do small bamboo, maybe small. I don't know how she would want to use it, but we'll do something. We ourselves will do something.
We'll put ourselves
either full bamboo or we'll do bamboo in certain places, bamboo for columns and things like that, and see how it goes. Edward Edu says no until the academic research and proof otherwise. For him, he's not going anywhere close to bamboo.
No, but
he wants his peace of mind.
The academic part of the research, right? We don't want the academic part.
Okay.
He wants the practical part.
Want the practical part, yeah. Because the academic one, we've done it, sir. But we need to start from somewhere. If everybody is going to wait for something, then we'll never start, right? And that's why we are showing you this video. And I'm going to go back to the video so that I see some other concepts. It's really amazing. Idris Wildchild again says, "I believe our people build with fear. Therefore, we don't take risk in trying new things. There's a lady who built a nice house with a mixture of bamboo and bricks and mortar." Interesting. That's what I'm giving you an assignment to find me people building with bamboo and let's interview them. Let's see the property that they are putting up.
Fantastic.
Great. Richard says the poll is 54% no and a 46% yes. So it means that even the people who are watching, majority of you would not experiment with bamboo. It doesn't matter what we are saying. We should just close the video there because nobody is willing to take the risk. Again, I'm showing you this is the Indian airport. Bamboo almost throughout. And it's one of the most beautiful airports I've seen in the world. The way they incorporate bamboo into everything is so amazing. In our local market, we are using it for chairs, we are using it for baskets, we are using it for bags, but we could be doing so much more because bamboo grows naturally in Ghana. Anyways, let's go back into the video. I want to show you how they are actually, building with the bamboo, some of the structures that they put up with the bamboo. Now, this particular one is really interesting.
The concept was maybe we could put all the bamboo in the container, send it somewhere, and then have all the material you need inside already to make your little, your building. And there's a whole world of container houses out there, so it's kind of like a response to that. We're like, well, what if we made a container house that's actually a bamboo house, and how do we integrate the container? The container became the template, and it's also structural, right? So you've got these foundations, they're actually not going down very far. The real foundation is the container, and because it's such a stable box, you actually create a system where you can keep the whole thing stable just by fastening it to the container. And we actually have like 4 or 5 tons of water up there. Wow. So it's actually surprisingly strong. So we did that.
Yeah, for me, this is really exciting, man.
Yeah.
Because the concept that they have in mind is that they buy the container, they put all the bamboo that you need to build it into the container. So if the bamboo gets to your site, let's say at Kaswa, You have everything you need to complete your house. And then the container could be like a ground floor. And I really like the concept because today, shipping container in Ghana, right, you can get it 20,000 to 30,000 cedis.
Okay.
And the cost of bamboo, now let's go back into the cost, right, so that we do a cost comparison. The cost of bamboo per kilogram is 2 cedis, 50 pesos. In fact, you could negotiate as low as 2 cedis, up to 5 cedis. Whereas if you are calculating per kilogram, a cost of iron rods is between 8 to 15 cedis. So you are looking at essentially like 4 to maybe 5 times cheaper the cost. So whereas a ton of iron rods today is selling for close to 9,000 cedis, that same ton of bamboo is going to sell for maybe 2,500 to 3,000 Ghana cedis. And so essentially what that means is if a house is going to cost you, let's say, yesterday we went to look at a house, right? And it's selling for almost $100,000. You could literally build that same house with $30,000.
But in bamboo.
Yeah, but with bamboo.
Yeah.
And do it as beautifully as the people at the Bamboo University in Bali are doing it.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I think it opens up a lot of possibilities. And you don't need to do it fully with bamboo. You could have some concrete parts or some brick parts or some whatever, right? And use bamboo for other parts. And you are going to save a lot of money. We will try something and we'll document the entire journey and share with you guys. But again, I find this as potentially game-changing, really, really game-changing. Now, if you look at the cost analysis, right, the total cost for a 50 square meter house, look at the blocks and steel that you would require versus the bamboo, right? Relatively cheaper.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing is almost every region in Ghana, bamboo will grow. In the eastern region, we've seen bamboo at Kebe, the surrounding forest is Suom. In the Volta region, Hohoya Fajato has bamboo. Ashanti region has bamboo. Western and Western North regions have bamboo. Central region has bamboo. And I've shown you
everywhere
a video in Ghana, in Accra, right here, where bamboo is growing, right? So the potential is really, really, really high. And I want everybody to begin to look at it a second time. Let's look at it critically and embrace it. Let's begin to embrace it, right? Because for me, I think this is the future. This is the future. Now let's go back to the structural applications. If you are doing like a single story, roofs, partitions, and temporary structures, because of the 10 to 25 years, then bamboo is a no-brainer for me, right? If you are building in places where it's earthquake prone, bamboo is a no-brainer.
I agree.
Right. And we have a lot of videos here where people are building with bamboo as well. And people use bamboo typically for when they are coming to do their decking. That's what we've been doing in Ghana. But we could do so much more than this.
With bamboo.
Yeah, so much more. And we also researched some success stories across the world, right? And Ethiopia built a refugee housing with bamboo. The UNHCR successfully built over 1,500 bamboo homes for refugees, providing sustainable shelter at a fraction of the cost of traditional materials. Now, obviously, we could say, oh, they are refugees, they don't have money, so they don't really have any say. Whatever is given to you,
like that.
But if they could build 1,500 homes, is it not thought-provoking for us to think again that maybe this could work, right? Because the UN is not going to just throw money on something that's just going to go waste.
At all.
They are obviously going to do their research and see how viable the solution is. Now, in Ghana, people use bamboo for scaffolding, and it has become very dominant. In Colombia, they built earthquake-resistant homes with bamboo. And in Nigeria, they are doing like a mixture of this, bamboo and steel. Of course, there are challenges. The number one being the fact that because it's wood, you need to treat it properly, else insects are going to chew your bamboo to death.
Yeah.
Right, and that is the number one. Then the second one is the fact that you also need to protect it against the elements.
Okay.
Right, and then again, you need the skills, you need the architects, and then you need where to get the bamboo at affordable prices.
Yeah. The people
Right.
who do the
How much will it cost artisans to go and learn how to build with bamboo in Bali?
approximately it's costing you close to $3,000 to learn in Bali.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you want, there's an installment period where you can pay in 3 months, you're paying $971 every month.
Okay.
And if you want to pay in full, you're paying $2,775.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's not bad. $2,000, and then you become like a monopolist over the bamboo industry in Ghana. People should identify the opportunities and take action. For me, that's what I'm going to say, because there's a lot of opportunity here. And you know, this whole SDG conversation and things like that.
Yeah.
If you are looking for investment, a lot of the conversation is now around sustainability,
Yeah.
ESG,
Greenhouse,
SDG, and all those things. If you go to places like Shark Tank, Dragon's Den, and things, you would get investment. You would get other people's money to come and build, right? So if you're a business person, please think about it. We said we'll use ourselves as guinea pigs. And so if you want to support us on that journey,
Okay.
you could contact us, send us an email, and we'll see how best we can support you. This live is brought to you by Doormaster. Doormaster is doing amazing things for the building community in Ghana when it comes to security, durability, price, and customer services. Their doors are amazing. Again, this video is also brought by us. We are selling solar cameras. One solar camera is just what? 3,300 Ghana cedis. With this, you can monitor the progress of your building project. And it has so many functionalities: remote viewing, infrared, two-way audio, you can talk through it, and many, many more. So send us an email. Our email address is on the screen. Buy 4, buy 5, buy 10, and then use it to protect your building project from starting phase all the way to even after you have completed. You can use it, and it uses a 4G SIM. Let's get ready to wrap up the video. So again, let's look at the challenges. There's a risk of fire, so you need to also get fire resistant plastering on it, right? So in conclusion, what we would advise is that find a hybrid approach, right? Maybe in the short term, many people will probably not want to go for a full-scale bamboo house like we are seeing in Bali. So do a bit of a hybrid approach.
Okay.
Maybe do your interior furnishing with bamboo,
Okay.
do your door with bamboo, do your, your floor,
Yeah.
the slab and all that, reinforcement with bamboo. Small places where you can win, because the cost of a ton of iron is pretty expensive.
Okay.
And the more you need, the more it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
And then things like maybe your walls, your fence walls and things like that, you could consider bamboo for those as well. Right. So why are you laughing? There are alternatives. If we don't start from somewhere, nobody is going to continue. Words of Wisdom channel says bamboo is a no-go for me because of pest and decay, durability, building codes and regulations, and fire risk.
Okay.
Everything that we've just spoken about. We agree with you. We completely agree with you. But that's why, again, we are saying, for us, our position is let's adopt a hybrid approach. Right.
Okay.
And then if you are doing temporary structures, consider using bamboo.
Yeah.
Right. You are doing a project, and then after that you move it somewhere else, consider doing
And
bamboo.
there's some people that have like spare land available on in their houses.
Yes.
Where they want to do like those lavish bench and
Airbnb.
No, not even Airbnb. For when your visitors come, you want to sit outside. You could do like some bamboo bench, some shed, something nice. Right? Yeah, I think you should also do some.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. So I think that one thing that we all need to advocate for is that the Ghana Standards Authority needs to also consider these things, because we are a media company essentially, right?
Yeah.
And we are helping with advocacy. we are talking to the people in power,
Yeah.
so that when they hear these, they can also consider what they will do, right? Policymakers and all
Yeah.
that. The unfortunate thing is that the Ghana building code, it doesn't have anything for bamboo at all,
Oh, okay.
right? And so there's no standard. And so people who are doing it are just doing it either from experience or from trial and error.
Yeah.
But we need to get to a place where there's a standard, where we say this is the size of bamboo that you are using for a column, for a slab, whatever it is. Then it can be mass adopted, right? So for those of you who are close to the corridors of power, please take this video and share with them. Let's all begin to come together and let's see. But for us, we are going to use ourselves as experiments,
Yeah.
and then put together something. We'll document the journey. We'll let you know. Right. Words of Wisdom channel again says, even iron rods, these are cutting them, not bamboo. Oh, Charlie. Very interesting. Priscilla says, Ghana and bamboo, they're bidder. Interesting. A lot of comments. The comments, they keep on coming. Now, let's watch this video where someone actually used bamboo for the flow that they were doing for their building project. So as you can see, instead of using iron rods, they cut the bamboo, and this is what they used for the decking before they did their floor. They cast the concrete. Now, if you watch closely, you can see that there's still iron rods at some places,
Yeah.
but the majority of the work was with bamboo, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So for me, I think that this is great. Now, this is outside of Ghana, but you can see people using bamboos for columns, bamboos for their floor, bamboos for every single thing that they are doing. Even the beams, they are using bamboo, right? So we are going to leave links, and you can take your time and watch and decide whether it's for you or it is not for you. But for us,
This is for us.
we think that it's something people should explore. If you're enjoying this video, please click on the like button. Support us. That's how you tell YouTube that our content is worth sharing, right? So that YouTube knows that, oh, these people are doing really, really well. And please, by all means, subscribe to the channel, right? Our goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Subscribe, because as you can see, we have a lot of amazing content coming up for you. We have this interview with the people who do the bamboo that's coming up really soon. And then we would also be going to other countries to see what they are doing with bamboo. If you support us and we get money, we will go to the Bali and go and learn the
Good.
and
I
then
come
come
and
and
teach you
do
for
it.
free.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much for sticking and staying with us. Do enjoy your week. Have a very blessed week. Happy New Month, and we wish you all the best in your building project. Thank you so much to the Africa Building Hub team. Richard, you are amazing as always. Thank you, Etonam. Thank you,
Fran.
Priscilla. Claudia says thank you very much for teaching us. We appreciate